Sorry. I haven't showered in like a week.
He's so honest.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're diving into r/NeckbeardStories. Actually, this one was also posted to my personal subreddit r/ReddX We have broken 1,300 subscribers over there, so thank you to everybody who is getting in on the action, posting your stories. It used to be really slow. I used to be able to read every story that popped up, but that's just not the case recently, so I do apologize. I thank you for your patience. I will get to the stories as I can. I do promise you that much. Today we have Historybeard, which is a high school neckbeard. It was posted relatively recently, only 3 days ago, by user Historybeard, which is kind of sus if you're gonna ask me. You can't come in here talking about Historybeard and call yourself Historybeard, can you? Does that violate the rules or something like that? It's quite a conundrum, but I guess we'll have to think about that a little bit more a little bit later. I also got a new episode up of r/Praying Mantis over on mine and my wife's channel, Mr. and Mrs. ReddX. Please check that out if you haven't. Of course, the podcast is still going, but we're gonna go ahead, we'll get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this Neckbeard Stories cringe. The Ballad of Historybeard, my high school classmate. Don't build it up too much. He's just a classmate from high school. I don't know what you want from me. I realized also that I've been pretty heavy on these one-offs lately, but we'll get back to Unfortunate Nookie and Linkbeard, and we had Bourgeois Beard pretty recently, but I know I've got some catching up to do. I'm just trying to, take my time, live my best life out here. And I appreciate you guys hanging with me. So, I've been lurking on this sub for a while, and recently I started binge watching neckbeard videos on YouTube. Oh, whose videos do you like the best? I guess I'm the only one that does it consistently all the time. But that's cool. I found a niche. I slotted myself right in. Seems to have worked. So, I thought it was only fair that I make a Reddit account in order to give back and share my own neckbeard story about a rather unique classmate of mine in high school. Let's call him Historybeard, or HB, because of his obsession with military history. I mean, that's not a bad thing in itself. I like people who can tell me things about military history, but when you make it your whole personality, then we might run into some problems. And also, as far as giving back goes, I mean, you watch the videos. What more can I really ask? The fact that you wrote a story, it is next level. I definitely do appreciate that, but really the viewers are the backbone of the channel. They butter my beard, you know what I'm talking about? So, I first met Historybeard in 9th grade when he moved to my town. We went to the same high school, and he also went to the same Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school that I went to, but I'll get more into that in a minute. Historybeard was tall, probably around 6 foot or 6'1". He wasn't fat, he was actually in pretty good shape. Based purely on his physical features, he would easily be called a Chad, but he also wore dirty clothes and didn't make a habit of showering. Historybeard had short blondish hair, which always looked dirty, and a patchy beard that grew almost entirely below his jawline. Glorious. Yes, he had a literal neckbeard. Historybeard wore the same thing every day. A black t-shirt, which was often adorned with weird stains, green cargo pants, and black combat boots. He also always wore silver alloy rings with dragons and demonic faces on them that left green circles around his fingers. Dragon and demon and probably some skull rings as well. Yes, I'm loving it, dude. It is, of course, the beard on the inside that counts, and this dude has that beard inside Basically everywhere. The inside is completely covered. Jesus. Historybeard didn't stink like a dead animal, like many neckbeards seem to, but he did always seem to have this aura of old sweat and unwashed ass. I mean, I'd like to say that's weird and horrible, but I don't know, man. Teenage boys, it just kind of be that way sometimes. But yes, make a habit of showering and maybe it won't be that way as much. It wasn't really overpowering, but if you got within a foot or two of Historybeard, you could definitely smell it. Oh, God, I don't like it. And he also had no concept of personal space, and he would stand way too close to people, which only compounded this problem. Yeah, no social awareness. That checks out as well. He swaggered down the hallway with his arms held out away from his sides, which I think he thought made him look cool. I thought it made him look like an ape, but whatever. Return to monk. Unlike most neckbeards, Historybeard had a very healthy diet. This, combined with all the exercise that he did, made him one of the few people that I've ever met who had a legitimate six-pack. How do I know that he had a six-pack? Well, he would lift up his shirt and show people his abs to assert his dominance. Yeah. It'd be a lot more intimidating if there wasn't like a crust of dirt running down the six-pack, you know what I mean? Maybe just give it a little rinse before you use it to intimidate people. Or maybe that adds to the intimidation factor. We can't really be sure. He also considered himself
irresistible to women,
despite the fact that I'm pretty sure he had never even kissed a girl before. But yeah, it's all talk in high school, isn't it? One time, as we were putting on our shoes after jiu-jitsu class, Historybeard started talking about
how he could make any girl squirt.
He started demonstrating the correct finger motions to make a woman squirt. Oh, God, dude. That is the most awkward thing I've ever heard. Hey, thanks for that thing that I definitely don't care about. Please never speak about this again. As I said, I'm pretty sure this dude had never even kissed a girl at this point. If Historybeard took a shower, shaved his beard, and washed his freaking clothes, I'm sure he would actually be very good looking, but he did not do any of those things. True to his name, Historybeard was primarily obsessed with military history.
And making chicks squirt.
In his imagination. He seemed to mostly like World War I and World War II, but he occasionally talked about feudal Japan, ancient Rome, ancient Greece, or medieval Europe. When people were talking about something vaguely historical, of course, Historybeard would inject himself into the conversation to add facts or to correct something that someone had said. Is Historybeard on the spectrum? I'm getting kind of that vibe. But regardless, of course, his correction was usually preceded by a very neckbeardy,
Actually,
I am neckbeard.
But as annoying as all this might seem, Historybeard was actually pretty easy to deal with because he didn't bother people too often. He usually just walked around blasting Sabaton in his headphones while aggressively air guitaring. That's probably some kind of black death metal band that I don't know nothing about. And I do mean he was blasting this music. If you were next to Historybeard in the hallway, you could clearly hear the music in his headphones, even in a crowded high school hallway. Was he actually wearing the headphones? Because, hearing damage. And if he's not wearing the headphones, then yeah, that's a super douchebag move. One that I used to do myself way back in the day when I lacked some social graces. I'm just like, this song is so cool. People are going to ask me about this cool song that's blasting from my headphones. Guess what? It never happened. Nobody cares what you're listening to. As I said, Historybeard and I also studied Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or BJJ, together. If you aren't familiar with it, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a martial art which focuses on ground fighting and submissions, or, as my instructor liked to say, folding your opponent's clothes while he's still wearing them. Definitely a useful one. My daughter's into Taekwondo at the moment, getting her standing game going, but Jiu-Jitsu definitely on the list. She's gonna be a neckbeard fighting machine. Side note, I also had somewhat of a neckbeard streak in middle school, so when I heard Jiu-Jitsu, I thought that we would be learning ninja stuff. Oh, God. That's not at all what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is, but I still enjoyed it, so I stayed. And good thing that you did. These are life skills with practical applications, and I love that. When Historybeard moved to my town in 9th grade, he had already studied Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for about 3 years, and so had I. So he and I ended up sparring a lot together. Historybeard was very good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but he had an even higher opinion of himself, as most neckbeards do. When he won a sparring session, he would pound his chest like a gorilla and say, "Yeah, boy!" Like Flava Flav. All he needs is a giant clock around his neck.
Yeah, boy! I've been giving your girl the flavor of love. She's been sucking my clock all night long.
On the other hand, when he lost, he'd get very upset and grumble,
Yeah, this is bullshit.
and similar things to himself. If you were able to beat him, though, then you would have earned his grudging respect. Let me tell you something, I don't give a damn about this man's respect. I could do without it, that's fine. You don't respect me? Hey, feelings mutual. Let's move on. Historybeard also loved to do rare, elaborate submissions when something simpler would work just as well. One time he tried to do one of those rare submissions on me, but he made a mistake, which I capitalized on. If you know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and you're curious, Historybeard tried to do a banana split. But when he tried to reach around my leg, he exposed his elbow and I put him in an armbar. Historybeard was not happy. What can I say? Your form sucks. Usually the simplest thing is the best. Historybeard spent the rest of the night grumbling to himself and glaring at me. To his credit, though, at the end of the night, he came up to me and apologized. And he said that he would try to use his earlier mistake as a learning experience. As I said, he always did respect you if you beat him in a match, even if he wouldn't readily admit that. See, he's not such a bad guy after all. Young kid in high school, slightly stinky, corrects people on stuff that doesn't actually matter. I still am going with the theory that he's on the spectrum, but yeah, he doesn't seem like all that bad of a guy as far as beards that we've met. But maybe we're getting into that part. So, remember how I said Historybeard was smelly? Yes, I do. This became a problem when we sparred together because I had to stay very close to Historybeard for an extended period of time. I'm pretty sure that's part of his tactic, man. You gotta be careful. One fateful Wednesday evening, he was particularly ripe. Historybeard was sparring with me, as he often did. I could definitely smell him, but it was tolerable. And then, suddenly, it wasn't. At one point, Historybeard tried to put me in a triangle choke. And if you aren't familiar with that, a triangle choke is when you make your legs a triangle shape around your opponent's neck, and you choke them by squeezing their neck between the shoulder and the inside of your leg. It's a little tough to explain, so here's a picture I found on Google Images. Yeah, your head's basically right in the crotch. Am I getting that correctly? Yeah, that doesn't look like it's gonna be a whole lot of fun with a stinky neckbeard crushing your head into his most assuredly pungent crotch. God damn it, dude. This position put my face a mere few inches from Historybeard's crotch and ass, giving me a face full of that reeking BO.
That smells like ass.
I gagged and tapped out, not because Historybeard was choking me, but because the smell made me want to vomit. I told you, dude, it's all part of the strategy. These are some advanced tactics, alright? I hope you're taking notes. Historybeard looked confused.
Why did you tap?
He demanded.
I wasn't even choking you yet.
Because, I said, you smell awful, and it almost made me puke on you. Historybeard chuckled and replied,
Sorry. I haven't showered in like a week.
He's so honest.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
He's definitely on the spectrum, bro. I gotta call that out. He's gonna end up in the bowler beard category of beards that are like, you know, slightly annoying maybe, but they could also be fun to be around. Thankfully, our instructor heard this exchange and pulled Historybeard aside to have a talk with him about his hygiene. He said that if Historybeard stank enough to make people puke, then he wouldn't let Historybeard into his class anymore. Ah, come on, coach. This is advanced tactics. We're playing 4D chess right now. Historybeard listened, and he made sure to shower on nights when we had class. He's a good boy. Why are we reading the story about him? He's such a good boy. This was only 3 days a week, but still, it was a significant improvement. Other than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Historybeard's other hobby was Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CSGO for short. Apparently, besides going to school, going to jiu-jitsu class, working out, and occasionally doing homework, all Historybeard did was play CSGO. I mean, it's a pretty good game. I don't know if it's good enough to spend all my time on it, but I fucks with it a little bit. I remember Historybeard once saying that he averaged about 60 hours a week. This meant that he spent a little over 1/3 of his time playing CSGO any given week. I mean, 1/3 for school, 1/3 for CSGO, 1/3 for sleeping. The math doesn't quite work out because he's got like these side hobbies and stuff, so he's probably cutting into his sleep time a little bit, am I right? Or maybe he just goes real hardcore on the weekends. I kind of know what that's like. I'm like, all right, I got some time off. Let's get it in. I think it was in about 10th grade, but one day, Historybeard announced that he had downloaded Duolingo, or one of those language apps on his phone, and Historybeard said that he was trying to learn Russian. And it was true. Historybeard would sit there in class or at lunch just learning Russian on his phone. But you might be asking yourself, why in the world did Historybeard want to learn Russian? It was for CSGO, of course. To quote the man himself,
Most of the people I play with are Russian, so if I can learn to communicate with them, our team can be far more effective. And it's not like they're learning English anytime soon.
God, I love Historybeard, honestly. He's definitely weird and quirky, but he's thinking outside of the box. He's using his interests to propel himself to greater heights. Oh, I think we could all take a note from Historybeard, honestly. After using this app on his phone for a while, combined with countless hours spent playing CSGO, Historybeard apparently spoke fluent Russian by the end of high school. The most Russian anyone ever heard him say was "Sokubliet" and "Chiki-briki." But people did find a way to test him. There was a girl in our class whose parents immigrated from Russia, and one day we convinced her to have a conversation with Historybeard in Russian. She did, and she said that his Russian was actually pretty good, which everyone found surprising. I guess it makes sense though. If you practice a language 60 hours a week for 3 years, you probably would speak it really well, right? Is he on like a esports team from Russia or something like that? Why is he playing with Russians? I mean, I guess it wasn't established where OP was from. I'm in the Philippines, so I play Rainbow Six Siege with basically a lot of Chinese people. I mean, I'm in the Philippines, so I play Rainbow Six Siege with basically exclusively Chinese people, which isn't too bad. I've learned a couple of things, maybe 2 phrases. But yeah, if I actively tried to communicate with them, get on their team and such, I could probably learn Chinese. Maybe I should also follow in Historybeard's steps, man. This whole story's really giving me just some big brain time vibes. I love it, honestly. So yeah, Historybeard was stinky, he was very proud of his fighting skills, and he was obsessed with video games. But what was perhaps most notable about Historybeard were his politics. Aw, crap. And there's the rub. You see, Historybeard openly supported fascism. Oh, God. He's a LARPer, dude. He wants a monarchy again. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm sorry. We can't be friends. I take it all back. It shouldn't be like something so simple would just ruin this whole thing, but for me, it kind of does. How are you supposed to hang out with somebody like this? I guess just keep him away from politics. But Historybeard was quick to clarify.
I'm a fascist and not a Nazi. There's a difference.
As far as anyone knew, that was true. Historybeard never said or did anything that was actually outright racist. Oh, maybe he's coming back around. I don't know, man. I'm so conflicted. Historybeard idolized the Roman Empire and ancient Sparta, but he hated Hitler and the Nazi Party, saying,
I respect Hitler's skill as a leader and a strategist, but I don't support genocide.
God damn it, dude. This is so loaded. I'm not going to touch any of this. How about that? We're going to blaze through this part of the story and hope it doesn't get me demonetized. Historybeard definitely wasn't the kind of person to keep his thoughts to himself, so I think if he actually had any racist ideas, he would openly express them. I remember one time, someone accused Historybeard of hating Jewish people, and he replied with,
your value as a person is determined by how useful you are to the state, and not by your ethnicity. And statistically speaking, Jewish people are the most intelligent and educated people out there. So if anything, Jews are the superior race.
Again, I'm not touching any of this. Just head down. We're plunging through. This makes me so uncomfortable to even talk about. I hate it. Thanks. Like any good fascist, it's still not done. Historybeard supported a totalitarian regime. But unlike most edgy teenage fascists, he didn't fancy himself as the leader of that regime. When someone asked who the leader should be, Historybeard responded,
that's not for me to decide. Probably someone a lot smarter than me.
Oh, and he's humble. I don't know if he qualifies as a beard, honestly. No delusions of grandeur. I mean, he's definitely beard light, but I don't know. I kind of want to give him a pass, honestly. Despite turning 18 during our senior year, Historybeard vehemently refused to vote because
it's not the place of the common people to take part in politics.
Wow, dude. He's definitely got some views that I don't agree with, but I would love to pick his brain and see why. What makes you think these things? I am 100% fascinated, perhaps morbidly so. Historybeard was also a proud atheist, oh yes, and believed that everyone else should be too. He said that
a religion should be banned because we need to devote ourselves to society and the state and not some phony god.
He's just too euphoric for this world, isn't he? Historybeard also said that all able-bodied men should be required to join the military for 3 years after high school, but that women didn't have to because
females aren't built for battle.
Yeah, they don't actually have to go in the war. You just put them in military service, right? Historybeard also said that prisoners should be sent to gulag-style forced labor camps. Oh boy. I remember him saying,
Why are we spending so much money for these people to sit in cages all day? Ship them off to the mines so we can at least get some use out of them.
they're stamping license plates, bro. What else do you want? They get paid 10 cents an hour to make license plates or sew sweatshirts or whatever the hell they do. At least the ones that are lucky enough to have a job, I guess. The ones that don't have a job, yeah, we'll send them to the mines. What mines? Coal mines? I don't know where this kid's head is at. Historybeard got sent to the office once after a teacher heard him talking about
executing political dissidents.
But they decided that they couldn't punish him, though, because he hadn't actually threatened anyone. Yeah, not unless they're of a different political alignment than fascism. Which is basically everybody. Oh, God. This caused major problems for Historybeard during our senior year. My school required you to either take AP US Government or one semester civics class. And Historybeard refused to subject himself to
capitalist propaganda.
Those are his words. And that was what he considered AP government, so he took civics. I was in the same section of civics as him, and oh boy. After the first month or so, we had a test. One of the questions was, what is our duty as American citizens? The teacher was looking for something like, to stay informed on current issues and participate in the democratic process. Historybeard, on the other hand, wrote,
to follow our leaders' orders and to serve and strengthen the state.
Yeah, right. Look around at any politician and their personal life and tell me if you would be eager to follow that person's orders to the death. No, definitely not. Never. Historybeard got the question wrong, obviously, and he was not happy. He called the teacher over and demanded to know why he got the question wrong. The teacher tried to have a rational discussion with Historybeard, but Historybeard kept escalating the situation and explaining his fascist ideas in front of the entire class. What a dumpster fire. Historybeard ended up getting sent to the assistant principal's office, where the assistant principal yelled at Historybeard for about 20 minutes and then just sent him back to class. When he came back, Historybeard offered the teacher a solution.
How about I just regurgitate what you tell me for a few months and get a good grade, and then you'll never have to see me again.
The teacher agreed, and Historybeard did indeed get good grades for the rest of the semester, albeit with a very sour look on his face. God damn, dude. There are way more points in Historybeard's favor than against. Like, yeah, your political alignment's totally off the wall and horrible, but we can fix that. We can change you. The blunt and brutal honesty, the fact that he propels himself to new heights in order to better do the one thing that he loves so very much. There's a lot to admire about Historybeard, honestly. There's just that one big thing that gives me a bit of trepidation, but like I said, I would debate it out with him. I will bring him onto my side. In the spring of 12th grade, Historybeard started looking for a lady to take to prom. Oh, who's the lucky girl? Historybeard asked at least a dozen girls, and they all rejected him. I think it was because, as I mentioned, Historybeard was socially awkward and stood way too close to people, and girls just didn't like having a weird smelly boy invading their personal space and asking them out. Historybeard quickly gained a reputation as a creep, although I don't think that was entirely unintentional on his part. He wasn't actually malicious, he was just socially awkward and lacked boundaries. Nonetheless, though, when word spread, Historybeard's chances of finding a date dropped even lower. But did he get one? I hope he got one, goddammit. It all came to a head one day when a girl, let's just call her Stacy, accused Historybeard of grabbing her ass in the hallway. Oh boy. False accusation, was it? I can't stand for that. Historybeard insisted
that it was just an accident, and that Stacy just backed up and bumped into his hand.
But Stacy said that she felt his hand not just bump into her ass, but actually grab it. Nobody else came forward as a witness, so it was just Historybeard's word against Stacy's. The school decided that there wasn't enough evidence to punish Historybeard, but the teachers made sure to keep a close eye on him after that. I personally don't believe that Historybeard actually grabbed Stacy's ass. As I said, he was just a weird and socially awkward kid, but I don't think he was actually malicious. And Stacy had a reputation as a drama queen, so yeah, I think that Historybeard was telling the truth, and that he just accidentally bumped into her, and she sort of freaked out. God damn it, Stacy, why you gotta ruin everything? Poor Historybeard, he's just over here trying to, I don't know, stick his hands out at ass level. And people are just bumping into it. Again, I'm not sure what to think about this one. But I'll defer to OP's logic and say, yeah, he probably was innocent. Stuff like that does happen every once in a while. But whether it actually happened or not, when Stacy's boyfriend, let's call him Chad, found out, he was furious. Chad kept talking about how he was gonna beat up Historybeard. And at the end of the day, Chad did indeed corner Historybeard at his locker. Oh, here comes the jujitsu, bruh. I have no idea why Chad thought attacking Historybeard was a good idea. Chad definitely knew that Historybeard knew martial arts. It was basically all Historybeard talked about. But anyways, Chad grabbed Historybeard from behind and threw him down onto the ground, and then tried to mount him. Historybeard promptly flipped around and put Chad in an omoplata. Imagine your opponent's on top of you, and you squeeze their arms between your legs and then roll to the side and sit up. So your opponent's now laying on their stomach with their arm twisted behind their back. That is what an omoplata is. Here's another Google Images picture, and I will look at that because I can't imagine it 100% in my head. How does that? I guess that would work. Yeah, he's face down. He's basically at your mercy. Where the arm goes, the body is bound to follow. The guy in the blue gi in this picture actually does bear a strong resemblance to Historybeard. Just imagine him with shorter hair and a scruffy beard. And yeah, that's what Historybeard looked like. Is it accurate? Did you draw this picture? That's pretty wild to me. Chad started flailing around while screaming and cursing at Historybeard, and Historybeard yelled back with equal volume, taunting and insulting Chad. Dude really thought he was just gonna get one over, beat the crap out of this kid, but it was not to be. That's a big part of the problem when you grow up a meathead, you know? You don't consider all of the options here. This, of course, naturally attracted an even larger crowd than had already been formed. A circle formed around them, but nobody came to Chad's aid. Chad had a reputation for being a huge asshole, so I think that people weren't very sympathetic when they saw him flailing and screaming as Historybeard cranked his arms. God, you love to see it. I went to a very boring school, so watching the resident smelly fascist perform God, I'm dying. Perform a jujitsu hold on the resident jock douchebag was the most exciting thing that had happened in a very long time. After about a minute, though, the teachers came and dragged both Historybeard and Chad to the office. Multiple people had taken videos of the events, which is how I know the exact details because I wasn't actually there. The principal saw these videos too, which clearly showed Chad attacking Historybeard from behind, totally unprovoked. So Chad was suspended for a few days. It would have been longer, but he was one of the captains of the football team, and I live in one of the states where sports ball is a really big deal, and you know how that goes, I guess. Historybeard was suspended for a few days too. I think it was because although Chad started the fight, Historybeard had almost dislocated Chad's shoulder, which, again, would hurt the reputation of our sports ball team. Yes, the all-important sports ball team. That's what we really need to take into account. God, that's probably the most heinous part of this story. Is this school's absolute undying oath of fealty to a freaking high school football team. Who cares? What the hell? Nothing interesting happened for the rest of the year, so that's where the story ends. After high school, Historybeard joined the army
to serve and strengthen the state.
And I haven't seen him since. I hope he's okay. This was 5 years ago now, and last I checked, Historybeard was in his sophomore year of college to become a history teacher. I looked at his Instagram, and he's done all the things that I mentioned earlier that I thought he should do. He shaved his beard, got a decent haircut, and it looks like he wears clean clothes. He also has a girlfriend now. As ReddX likes to say, though, none of us were our best selves in high school, and I think that Historybeard is a great example of this. Overall, I'm not really sure how to feel about Historybeard. He was arrogant and immature, but I don't think he was actually malicious. He was also simultaneously one of the most disciplined and most undisciplined people that I've ever met. He did genuinely love history, though, so assuming that he's grown up since I knew him, I'm sure he'll be a great history teacher. And that concludes the tale of Historybeard. Thank you for reading. I must admit that I am quite partial towards this beard. His really weird political views aside, I'm going to go ahead and assume that those have melted away with age along with some of his other less attractive traits. I think that this is a dude that I really could get along with. The fact that he taught himself Russian to play CSGO with Russian players is just absolutely mind-boggling to me. I admire that so very much. I've been in the Philippines like 6 years, and my level of conversational Tagalog is like so elementary. It's like you're talking to a 3 or 4 year old child. It is sad. But if I could dedicate myself to it like Historybeard, I could definitely learn it, with flying colors. He is sort of weird and arrogant and talks about sexual misadventures that never happened, but I don't know. It seems like kind of just a high school thing, doesn't it? There's a whole lot out there that I will forgive people for because they were just young and dumb. And it does seem like this dude has grown up into a solid person. He lived, he learned, and I hope that he will continue to do so. I really love a good, wholesome, just enjoyable Neckbeard story. I mean, there were uncomfortable parts in this one, but that's mostly because, YouTube doesn't like certain words that we was using there. Worst comes to worst, I might have to just cut it out or something like that, but if you heard it, then hey, I didn't have to cut it out, which is great. But regardless of what you heard, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you like, comment, and or subscribe. If you did, friends, maybe share the video around because this is some of that wholesome goodness. We got to spread some of them positive vibes and such. We've also got links in the description which you can check out. I mentioned Mr. and Mrs. ReddX, mine and my wife's channel. I mentioned the podcast, but there's also all kinds of other plugs and also some playlists if you're looking for specific something from the channel. We've also got my social medias, Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Yes, I'm everywhere, including my Patreon and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons who I would like to thank Jerry much as I do every episode. So thank you.
Robert Waits, Logan Wolf, River Jerry, Conrad Ingy. Hey, that's a new one. Welcome to the fold, friends. Captain Clown Jerry, Hong Kong, Aaron W, Cinema Susie, Danny, Jerry Nerdnick, For Old Lang Syne, Fire Drake, Giggle Jerry, Hee Hee, and Urari, the most different Jerry spelling. Accurate. Jory the Pirate. God, I love that. Livingston loves Jerry, so does ReddX, Rogue, Silent Revolver, Magdalene Marshall Thornrose, the OG, Jerry, Becca, Jerry's Kitsune, Satori, a Jury, a Juggling Jerry's, a Crusty Cargonian Kate. I love this alliteration, dude. If everybody alliterates, we can make it like a big old song or something. That's beautiful. We also got Alunia, Althea Blue, Anunnaki, Assassin Pug Jerry, Bang Bang, Atheist Jerry, he's so euphoric, Grizzly, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, watch out for that guy, Bitch Gremlin, Blade the Hero, Blameless Fish, Blip Bloop Jerry, but Jerry, it's cold outside, Camille Sarah, Commander J Tank, Deltarune Jerry, Dennis Dayton, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Aaron Lennox, Frozen Over Studios, Gypsy, Adrian BR, Heathcliff, Itchy Nuts, Just Scratching Bro, a pimp named J. Crisp, yes, you have to say the whole thing, J.M. Coon, Jennifer Schaefer, Jerry Big Nuts, that's Mr. J, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry Milady Nix, Jerry the Small Jerry's than the other Jerry's, maybe, Jerry the Outlaw Mother Trucker, honk honk, John Hero, Jolly Black Jerry, Simboofa, because if you're boofing is free, K, Jerry, W, Kajow, Crewhee, Miss Monday, Lord Lionel, Jack's Rule, Melgar the Destroyer, Natari, Nightmare Jerry, Origami Jerry Steve, congrats on the marriage, Panda Prince, Jerry Bamboo, Phantom of the Pines, Jerry Kisser, Jerry Bed, Rose, Jerry Miller, TSM Kirby, Safe Spaces Hate Satire, Sarita the Lolita, Serrated Ass Staples, aka Jerry Yeet, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tamago, Tapioca Boogaloo, Tato Ferret, Teddy the Police, Tenta Monster, The One Too Fusky, Tom, but it's the Jerry on the inside that counts. Yep, church. Treebergs, Vigilante Justice. Viking Jerry, hey, that's a new one. Welcome to the fold, friends. We're getting worried. Marble Jerry's been missing for a month and the roller rink's never heard of him. We got like a whole saga going on. The Adventures of Marble Jerry. Lil Mags, Comrade Mooney, Kira, you're a wizard, Jerry. Redwind, Goose says honk, Nog Viper, Side Jerry the Cyborg, a normal Jerry. Can cringe sandwich make you fat? I mean, beer stories are often heavy and full of calories. No, man, these stories are actually 100% calorie free because we make them with love instead of the usual ingredients. We've got the Hunter of Jerry's, Devourer of all things tasty. Yes, it's Tom, Admiral T-Tank, Alunia, Amara, Atomic Jerryzilla, AZ, Banished Knight, Babushka's Radiator Jam, Broken Spine, Horseradish, OG, Different Jerry, That's Cake Jerry, California Jerry Girl, Canadian Links, Carrot Jerry, God of Veggies, Good for your eyes, Cha-cha-cha-cha, Jerry, Chris Meska, Cinnamon Bunny Dog, Princess Furry Warrior Woo Jerry, Crypt Titties, Cuban Jerry, Define Jerry, Electrical Fennec, Ghost of Alpha, He Not, HMT Mayor, Holy Berry Jerry, how's your short game, Jerry, Hydra Jerry, Jerry and Tom versus Santa Werebeard Apocalypse, Jerry and a Subaru STI, so specific, Jerry Binks, Mr. Like Your Name, Jerry Aldo Rivera, Jerry Bean, Yum, Jerry Roxas, Yay, Jerry Role-Playing Game, also Bloody Butterfly Gaming, a.k.a., you know what I'm saying, Judge Jerry and Executioner, King Tom, Smasher and Jerry Zillas, now we got a fight on our hands, Kid to Kid, Life of a Guardian, Little Ann Woods, Lucian Lovecraft, maybe next time, Midnight Sun, Milk-Fed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Not Invisible Angel, I See You, One-Legged Jerry sings Jingle Bells, hop up and down, let me hit you jingle, Origami Cam, Princess Rosalie Jerry, congrats on the marriage, Ghosty, Raptor Art, she's my Jerry Pie, Silurian King, Snom Jerry, a.k.a. Snary, Spoonie the Rogue, Steampunk Ellie, Terry, or the crippling duality of being both a Tom and a Jerry. I guess that's nicer than Jom, isn't it? That one green Jerry, the Necro Jerry Con, the original Jerry, not, the most different Jerry, maybe, to Infinite Jerry and beyond. Definitely. Zestaboo Jerry, Tom Promise Jerry swears. Oh, no bad Jerry, Tom, be a good boy, don't swear. It's just facts, totally size goal. Look it up by it, I mean another ReddX video.
Thank you guys, as always, for supporting on the Patreon. You do my heart so very well. My heart will swell. Heh, that rhymes. Obviously, I do hope some other people will consider supporting on the Patreon, but if you can't afford to do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you'll come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watching some old ReddX videos. Please? Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one. And until then, bye-bye.